Before we get started, I am a physician assistant in orthopedic surgery for 13 years. I retired in 2019. I am also a former three-time world champion bodybuilder in masters bikini. And I have been enjoying this nutrition for 11 plus years. So I just thought I'd do a talk on protein and why everyone is talking about protein lately, and saw this meme, thought I'd share. If I've faced more peer pressure to eat protein in my 40s than I ever did with drugs as a teen. I don't know if that's true for anybody else out there. Just thought I'd share. So why do we need protein? It is essential for muscle repair and growth. It supports our physical health and recovery. It fuels normal production of enzymes and hormones and provides amino acids for our immune system to combat infections. So those are some great reasons to fuel your body properly. It also supports healthy hair, skin, and nails. It aids in satiety. So if you ever notice that when you have a high protein meal, you're not scrounging around for munchies right after. It's good for regulating metabolism, which is crucial for weight management. Also, we're losing about a quarter to a half pound of muscle per year after the age of 25. Here's a cross section of a young, healthy thigh muscle. This light gray area is the thigh muscle itself. This darker gray is the subcutaneous fat, which is needed for, so it's connected to our skin. And this is the femur bone. And here is the sarcopenic thigh muscle. Sarcopenia is the age-related muscle loss, is a condition from muscle loss due to aging. So you can see that there's less light gray matter here. There's more subcutaneous fat, this darker gray area. So this is going to happen um, regularly. So if we're not getting enough protein, our body's gonna borrow it from muscles. So a normal, nice, juicy muscle might look like that. And with time, over time, we start to lose muscle tissue. So that can also lead to imbalances in our hormones, our enzymes, the ability to fight off infections, bone fractures, all those things. Also, women with more belly fat are 39% more likely to develop dementia. Visceral fat, the fat around our organs and our abdomen, is a powerful predictor of cognitive decline, especially during perimenopause when hormone shifts make it harder to lose some weight. So instead of focusing on weight loss, which is a conversation about quality versus quantity, what is the weight made of? This is where tracking our body composition, how much of the weight is from muscle, how much of it is from fat, is important, and taking into consideration bone density. And did you know muscle is considered the organ of longevity? So the more muscle mass you have as in your later years, the better quality of life you'll have because you'll be able to get around more. So how much protein do we need daily? Most people think that they're getting enough protein. I was like that too. The reality is that women are typically getting 60 to 70 grams of protein daily. I was getting less than that as a vegetarian. Men are getting on average 80 to 90 grams of protein daily. That's far less than optimal for building muscle and preserving muscle. Research is increasingly showing that we need significantly more protein than the recommended daily allowance suggests. The recommended daily allowance, this is also daily reference values that they use in the UK. Those standards only prevent deficiencies. So those are not markers for a life of vitality. It's just to prevent you from falling apart. But the exact amount depends on your age, your activity level, and metabolic health. There's a concept called protein pacing. It's a science. It looks at eating not just the right amount of protein, but looking at different types of protein and also when you're eating it. So to start off with the amount, how much protein should you be getting? In the US, we're looking at 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight. So for example, if you are 100, if your goal is 150 pounds, you are eating anywhere from 105 to 150 grams of protein per day. Also, if you're adding exercise, you will want to add 20 to 25 grams of protein immediately after your session. This is optimal time for your muscles to uptake and utilize that protein. And if you're over 60 years old, you want to aim for the higher end because of the accelerated loss of muscle as we get older. So this woman's name is Julie. She at 103 was breaking records. She passed at 108 years old. So with older individuals, research suggests that those who consume more protein are less likely to lose functioning, and that's defined as the ability to dress themselves, get out of bed, walk up a flight of stairs, and more, just like your basic activities of daily living. And why are older individuals eating less? It could be from reduced appetite, dental issues, impaired taste, swallowing problems, and limited financial resources. And when you combine that with their tendency to become more sedentary, it's just going to exacerbate the risk of deteriorating muscles, compromised mobility, slower recovery from bouts of illness, and the loss of independence, which most people do not look forward to. So the takeaway is eat more protein, keep moving your body, and get your dental checkups regularly. So injectable weight loss medications are pretty popular now, especially as they're getting cheaper. Yes, they are effective. The GLP-1 injectables are effective in helping people lose weight. It does come with some side effects, and everyone's different in how they react to it. But studies looking at GLP-1 options versus protein pacing. This GLP-1 study was done with the individuals working out 150 minutes of physical activity per week. This protein pacing does not have people working out, so that's interesting, right? If you look at the amount of weight that's lost, approximately 30 pounds, minus 26 pounds. I mean, you can look at the duration as well too, but most of a good 40% of the weight loss is coming from lean body mass, and that to me is dangerous. So it's important to, if you look at the protein pacing individuals, most of the weight loss comes from fat, which is great. And then you're only really losing very little lean body mass. So when it comes to the timing of protein, there are different recommendations, but just to keep it simple, just think of 4x4. 4 protein-rich meals per day, about every 4 hours. So 4 meals a day, approximately 4 hours apart. Here are some types of protein that you can look at. I chose 30 grams of protein as a benchmark because it's probably the most commonly searched for amount. So you can get it from beans, legumes, nuts, and seeds with the amounts listed here. Or here's a list on the right of an omnivore's diet. So it's 4 ounces of chicken, 5 ounces of salmon. You could do bone broth, 3 cups, 1.5 cups of lentils, protein powder. I think it depends on the protein powder. You can do a cup and a half of Greek or skyr yogurt. Here's some other ways to look at the same information if you like pictures, bigger pictures better. There's Greek yogurt with powdered peanut butter, half cup of tofu, 100 grams of shrimp, a protein shake, 4 ounces of tuna, 5 ounces of bison. So lots of options. And here's a typed out list of 30 grams of protein options in case you're more of a typed out type of a person. And here, this slide was interesting because I like how they included the calories and fat with the amounts of protein. So if you're thinking about consuming 4 meals a day for 7 days a week, minus the times that you might be intermittent fasting, things like that, or doing a cleanse. The other times when you are eating, if you think about over time, consuming it, and I guess prioritizing fat is a different conversation altogether. But if you're doing 3 out of 4 meals of steak, it's going to be higher calories and a lot more fat intake versus if you choose a lean protein source like chicken, turkey, some forms of whey powders, tuna, um, probably tofu as well too. Those are going to be leaner for you. You're going to consume less fat and less calories. So these are more nutrient dense options. But you can have, there's nothing that says you can't have steaks or salmon or peanuts, but you just want to be mindful. 100 grams of peanuts, yes, it's going to give you 30 grams of protein, but also over 600 calories and 54 grams of fat. So you want to see what the meals look like? I thought so. Here are some examples of some meals. You could do a high protein shake smoothie in the morning. This is some swordfish, 4 to 5 ounces of swordfish over a bed of greens and veggies. You can do an oatmeal high protein oatmeal bowl. It could be a Greek yogurt bowl. This is a could be salad, could be a bowl, depends on how you market it, right? But you're getting this high protein in here, and then you're just eating fruits and vegetables and some grains. Here's some chicken breast sliced up over a bed of greens. This is ground turkey, could be like taco meat and with a bunch of sauteed veggies. So maybe you like to, during the week, you don't have time to cook all your meals and you pick a day of the week, usually on a weekend, and you want to meal prep, make a ton of a protein source. Maybe it's chopping up your vegetables so that you can quickly grab stuff to make a salad with. So you can bulk make your protein. So say you have like a bunch of chicken breast, you can put it on a baking pan, or if you have like burger patties and you want to grill them up, you can, and then just have leftovers, dole them out ahead of time or as you need it. So this is just an example. You can grab a food scale anywhere. 4 ounces of a lean poultry is going to be approximately 30 grams of protein. And then you just add on as many veggies as you want to. Sauteed veggies, you don't have to be super strict with that. Here's an example schedule. 8 a.m. in the morning, you get up, you're getting a 30-gram protein meal replacement shake because it's quick, it's fast, and you just want to be on your way with your day, right? Noontime, you might have some steak, egg, veggies, a little bit of rice, and some sauce to make it spicy and flavorful. Looks like some salt and pepper, some sesame seeds. Spices make it fun. This might be like a crock pot dinner with pulled chicken. You've got veggies and rice. So this is another nice option that you might be having with family. You will be hungry by then, so it's a good time to eat. And then at nighttime, if you want to do a protein isolate, since it's closer to bed, you want to have something that's easy to digest. I like to call it a bedtime belly buster because your body still wants to consume protein and utilize protein. So that's an example. When it comes to protein shakes, there are lots of protein shakes out there, 100% am aware of that. So just make sure you read labels and you know what you're looking at. If you want to use a protein shake as your go-to in the morning, set it and forget it. Definitely, because it's going to be in your life on a more regular basis, you want to be mindful of what you're putting into your body, especially if it's going to be considered a meal, make sure you're having um, at least 200 calories. Check to see if there are artificial flavors, colors, sweeteners, because over time, if you're consuming a lot of this, especially of the artificial sugars that can alter your gut microbiome, I would avoid soy because that tends to be pro-inflammatory if you're going to be having this on a regular basis. Check to see, does it have vitamins and minerals? Does it have fiber? Does it have healthy fats? Those are things to consider. If you're short on time, which many of us are, very few people I run into have time to cook 4 meals a day, 7 days a week. Eat all of that, consume it, clean it, prep it, whatever. It's time consuming. It's a full-time job. So I get that there are lots of protein options out there. And if it's a matter of you either grabbing this protein alternative, protein snack, or having a pastry, having like a drive-through something, or rather that's like high in fat and sodium, low on nutrients, then go for a bar. There are so many protein options out there, but if you can be mindful, like once in a while, that's fine. I would not recommend relying on this on a daily basis because a lot of times these protein bars have additives in there, have fake sugars in there that like can irritate your stomach. They don't taste great. They're ugh, chalky. I haven't found a protein bar I particularly like, but that's just me. There's also protein cereals. This is a huge thing. There's still a lot of carbs in there. Um, sometimes like the aftertaste is sometimes a little too much for me. These bars can be these like pop toaster pastries are too sugary, too sweet for my taste, but yeah. Anyway, I get it. They're there. Just look at the ingredients. There are healthier options for this, especially if you're short on time. I love doing the Greek yogurt bowls because it's dense protein, it's low fat, and you can still add your fruits and nuts to it to make it yummy and tasty, and like definitely honey is great for especially for immune boosting. But ideally, if you have time to meal prep, this just makes your week go by super fast. You can stay on target. There's no question. There's no like, hey, what should I have for my next meal? You already know. You can either heat it up or you can have it cold. It doesn't matter. You can make healthier protein bars. You can look for the healthier protein shakes. When you're eating out, prioritize protein. Look for a salad that has a protein on it. Keep the dressings on the sides. You can still add it, but not, you are in control of the sauce, not somebody else. So eating high protein meals doesn't have to be boring. You can have some of the vegetables, the fruit. You can have a little bit of chocolate, whatever. Some honey, some ginger. Just be mindful of what you're eating. Once you hone in on your personal protein goals, everything changes. Your energy returns, your hunger stabilizes, and your body transforms. I mean, look at this woman. She's 44 years old on the left and on the right. 10 years later, she's in her 50s. She looks amazing. She looks younger. She looks more active. She looks stronger. This woman here is in her 50s as well, and she's busting through. Her jeans are fitting again, and this woman's in her 60s, looking lean and mean. This woman is in her 70s. She's enjoying life. It's incredible. And this woman was bedridden for a bit, and now she is hiking mountains. It's great. So consider eating for your 90-year-old self. I love this idea. It's not always about losing weight or looking good in your whatever. I mean, yes, feeling good in your body and your clothes is definitely adds value to your life, but think about I encourage you to or challenge you to think about like your 90-year-old self. What we do now is going to set up the foundation for how we age going forward in our next decades. In a 2017 study that followed almost 2,000 older adults over the course of 6 years, they found that people who consumed the least amount of protein were almost twice as likely to have difficulty walking or climbing steps as those who ate the most. So, talking about quality of life as um, like, what's the point of living longer if it's just more misery? But if you could add more value, more vitality to more of your years just by adding more protein, why not? So just keep in mind that small changes lead to a big impact. Consistency beats intensity. Health is a lifestyle, it's not a sprint. Here are some resources. If you want to calculate your personal protein requirements, go to proteinpacing.org. That has the science all around protein pacing and how effective it is. And also, if you want to look for high protein meal recipe ideas, just go to Google search. I like going to Google because it has some nice pictures that inspire me to make that particular recipe or not. But there's lots of ideas out there. And I just want to show you when I was eating 32 grams of protein daily, I was definitely um, stick skinny. I can't say I was strong. I feel like wind could have blown me down, blown me over. And then over time, this is me consuming anywhere from 100 to 125 grams of protein daily, combined with weight training and how you can start to build muscle. No, you're probably not going to get bulky. Um, in fact, you'll probably find that you're stronger, you're able to do more things, your endurance levels go up, activities that used to wind you don't bother you anymore. So I encourage you. I hope that helps. Hope it sparks some interest. And also you can, however you want to track things, go ahead and track it. You can start a note in your phone. You can use MyFitnessPal. You can use any macro counting tool. I'm just to keep it simple, just focus on getting your protein requirements in daily and then eat around that. So you'll find that you don't have to eat as many carbs or snacks when you prioritize your protein. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching.